Hello and welcome to another AIC Productions video. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite things, that is firearms. This is a Heritage Arms Rough Rider in 22 long rifle. It also comes with a cylinder for 22 Magnum. And I've had it for a couple years now. This I've had just a few hours and I have not had a chance to shoot it yet. But I have had a chance just to play with it, take it apart, look at it. It's a Ruger Wrangler in 22 long rifle. So I actually picked this up because I'm planning on selling this gun. The reason being is I have some issues with this gun, and I'm hoping those are solved with this one. The price between these two, and this is a nice thing about this one, is it's only a few more dollars than this one. This is a fairly inexpensive revolver. It comes in well under $200. MSRP is a little over $200, but you can easily find it just about everywhere for under that $200 mark. This one from Ruger is also under $200, depending on where you are shopping for it. It is the MSRP over $200, but pretty easy to find under $200. There are some differences between the guns, obviously, as well as some similarities. Obviously, they're both 6-shot 22 revolvers. This one happens to be, I believe it's a 5.5 or 6-inch barrel. This is a 4.62-inch barrel, something like that. Not a big, meaningful difference for me, at least. Taking these out, plinking, they're both going to be plenty accurate for hitting some tin cans out in the desert or shooting some paper targets at the shooting range. The fact that this one comes with a 22 Magnum cylinder kind of makes me laugh. One of the best things about shooting 22 is that it's cheap. You can buy 22 for between 3 and 6 cents a round pretty easily just about anywhere you go. 22 Magnum, the cheapest I can find online, is about 18 cents per round, and average is about 22 to 24 cents per round, where I can buy 45 ammo for between 26 and 30 cents a round. So it's significantly more expensive than 22 long rifle. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be using 22 Magnum as a plinking round, and yet if you're going to be doing anything more than that, you're going to want a heavier duty round anyways, especially if you're paying that much per round. I think what I pay for 38 Special for my wife's Smith & Wesson is pretty close to that 20 cents per round cost. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So this to me is a non-factor. I shot, when I was given this gun, it came, or when I got this gun, it came with a couple hundred rounds of 22 Magnum. I've shot it, and this cylinder has not been back in the gun since. So it's only shot 22 out of it, so I don't see the need for that extra cylinder. As far as build quality, I would say that's the big difference between the two. Just handling and feeling the Ruger over the Heritage Arms, it's heavier and it just feels overall better built. It feels like it's made out of better materials. There's more metal in it, which obviously makes it heavier and gives it a higher quality feel to the gun. One of the things that's most noticeable for me, and again, this gun is brand new, so I expect it to be perfect, but the thing that uses to plunge out the rounds, I forget what it's called, I apologize, but it is solid, it feels nice. Where on the Heritage Arms, I've put Loctite and tightened this multiple times, but every time I take it out to shoot, it comes loose every single time, and that's with Loctite on there. It just won't stay tight. The other thing that I'm having a problem with this one, that again I haven't shot this one, so I don't know if it'll be a problem. I don't expect it to be though, is I have a hard time once I've shot this in a couple of the cylinders here to actually eject rounds. So it's not loaded. When I go to try to plunge rounds out, sometimes I really have to pound them to get them to come out. And it's only in about 2 of these cylinders that I have that issue. I'm hoping that the higher tolerances that this gun obviously has, just holding it and looking at it, you can tell it's made with higher tolerances and higher accuracy. I hope that extends to the cylinder itself and the rounds eject the way you expect them to from every cylinder. A couple other things you notice. To spin the cylinder on this one, I put it in half cock, and then once it's half cocked, the cylinder spins freely and then the loading gate pops out. The problem with this is this loading gate is very loosey-goosey and pops right back in. So when you're unloading and loading rounds, it's very easy to accidentally just bump that just enough and it snaps closed on you. It gets a bit old after a while. Where on the Ruger, there's no half cock. It's either fully cocked or not cocked. There's also no manual safety like there is on the Heritage Arms. This is in fire, that's on safe. So even if I were to cock this and pull the trigger, you can see it cannot hit. Normally you don't do that, you don't dry fire a 22 because you'll damage firing pin, but when it's on safe, it can't hit the firing pin that's right there because this bar flips up and keeps it from being able to do so. So you can do that and have it not hit the firing pin. This does not have that manual safety. What it does have, if I go ahead and cock, see this bar comes up, covers the firing pin, so if something were to cause the hammer to drop without the trigger being pulled, that is in place and it will not fire. It won't hit the firing pin and fire. Now, as far as loading and unloading, as I said, there's no half cock. So what you do is you just open this loading gate, and it's pretty stiff. I don't know if that'll work loose over time, but once you do that, then the cylinder spins freely in either direction. And that's nice if you fire just one round and you want to go back to that round without having to go all the way around to eject it. And then you can freely eject your rounds. And once you close the gate, then it's locked up again. So that's a difference between the two. Now, one thing I do like about the Heritage Arms in this case is it does have the wood grips. I probably will upgrade the rubber grips on the Ruger Wrangler at some point to wooden grips. I just like the way they feel better than the plastic that's on here. And I like the way it looks. I'll have to see if I can get some that are like the grips on my 1911, which is that stabilized wood. They're very pretty. But other than that, I definitely feel like this is a higher quality, better made gun than the Heritage for very similar pricing. So if you're looking at a revolver and you're looking at Heritage, I would recommend looking at the Ruger Wrangler. The one thing though is this only comes with this one barrel length, whereas the Heritage does come in multiple barrel lengths. I think you can even get 16, 18, and even 20-inch or 24-inch barrels, which is just ridiculous. But if you need a 20-inch barrel 22 revolver, then you got one option, I believe, in that category. Anyways, I do have one more gun coming pretty soon, another 22. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comment section down below. If you have any questions about either of these guns, definitely let me know. And I'm hoping to get out and shoot this in the next weekend or two. Get a couple 100 rounds through it just to get a good feel for it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.